Hi, I'm Nate Wakeford. I'm your masculinity and mindset coach. Today, I'm going to talk about frames of reality and how important it is as a framed man to carefully choose your own frame and how, in the context of the man you choose to build yourself to become, to not tolerate or allow yourself to fall into the diminishing frame of another who may be disrespecting you, diminishing you, manipulating you for their desires at your expense. This is a super important topic, one that I find has the capacity to have a profound impact in a man's life. You see, if a man chooses a woman who does not see his value, who seeks to control and manipulate him for her gain, she can absolutely destroy his reality and his world because he is not committed to his own identity and the creation of his own reality. He's willing to trade his own self-esteem, self-worth for that woman's approval, temporary acceptance, temporary validation. And this can come at the vast destruction of that man's reality, the finances that he's worked for, his friendships. Really, everything can be taken from a man who is not discerning in choosing the right partner. And I know from direct personal experience, that sometimes unconsciously, a woman, whether it's she wants to feel safe and is willing to place her safety and well-being above the care for the man's, if the man doesn't care for himself and does not stand for himself, some women will entertain the idea, perhaps not consciously, that it's the man's responsibility to take care of himself, which I believe this is the case, such that if he is easily manipulated, if he's willing to give away his resources to her without any sort of sense that that woman truly values him, cares for his well-being, then he deserves that behavior or that treatment. I don't proclaim that's every woman. I'm saying a man will need often to learn this lesson that he needs to truly care for his own reality, respect his reality, and set clear boundaries for how he wants to be treated by other people, or he will attract the learning lessons that will teach him that. This is why I say a man must have a clear sense of identity, have an internal frame of reference and internal authority, because once a man chooses the experience that he wants from life, he will then evaluate which people, men or women, conform to the creation of that. He will not trade his resources for the attention, validation, acceptance of others. He will share his wealth in appreciation of those who complement him in the creation of his reality. And he will lovingly invest in the women who invest their love, care, time, energy, attention in him. This is so important because if you do not value yourself, then you will allow the projections of others' limitations on you. If you do not hold yourself in high esteem and high regard, you will allow yourself to be manipulated, diminished by another in their attempts to place you down in order to prop themselves up. So you have to be very, very clear as a man on what is diminishing or disrespectful of you. Their behaviors, their attempts to manipulate or control you, to diminish you in any way should never be tolerated. You will only accept from yourself and others those behaviors which reinforce and uplift you, because that's the way that you'll be showing up in your life and that's the way that you'll be showing up for other people. Do not persist in relationships that are parasitic to your energy, time, and attention, that do not uplift and complement you in your desired empowering path and purpose in life. If you're a man who's choosing distractions and choosing to diminish yourself, then you're going to get what you choose. You're going to get the reflection of who you are. You will attract the reflections of who you are in your own behaviors. So you can't expect from the world something that you're not yourself. So this applies to the men who are truly committed to becoming an extraordinary man that is empowered in uplifting himself and others in divine alignment with an empowering path and purpose and destiny in life that makes this world a better place. This is who this message is for. If you are seeking to take from the feminine, diminish the feminine in any way, then you will get those same reflections coming back at you. And that is the divine order. Once you recognize that to try and take from another, to validate yourself, to prop yourself up, has no longevity and is ultimately harming yourself and your chances of an intimate and rewarding relationship, then maybe then you'll listen to this and watch this video and take heed. And you'll start the path to becoming an empowering man that wants to uplift those around him. Do not tolerate yourself being put in a diminishing frame. The way that you will gain an armor, a protection against this, is by building yourself in your esteem and becoming a high value man. It's by stop seeking validation and attention and developing an internal frame of reference. It's by becoming the authority in your world and creating yourself into a man that has high integrity, a high regard for himself, is disciplined in his self-care, is consistent in right action towards his path and purpose, such that he begins to hold himself in high regard and high esteem. That is the way you do that. And the more that you elevate yourself in your esteem, the more that you will treat yourself in high regard, the more that you'll expect that from others, and the less that you'll tolerate any sort of diminishing behavior or anyone who attempts to place you in a limiting frame. Because what you allow, what you don't refute, you enable. So that when someone places you in a limiting frame, and this includes men, if you've got friends that seek to control you, diminish you, to somehow elevate themselves up at your expense, they are not your friends. A valuable friend is someone who wants truly for your highest well-being, and they expect the same from you. You lift each other up. If you are someone, a man that wants to build himself up, that maybe you're holding some resentment because you were taken advantage of, know that you enabled it in some capacity. A high value man would not enable himself to be taken advantage of. And take the lesson from that painful experience as a motivation, as energy to develop yourself to become a high value and framed man. It will have an enduring positive impact on your life in the most powerful and profound ways. And if you want support in developing yourself to become a framed man, I have Sovereign Brotherhood. It's a free community. There are resources inside that will help you to truly understand what it is to become a framed man. And you will set yourself on a rite of passage to heal your subconscious wounds, to learn the language, the strategies to become a framed man. You'll lift yourself up and you'll begin to be able to hold yourself in a way that can lift others up also. And you will no longer tolerate those who diminish you. I hope this video has been valuable to you. Please like, subscribe, and share. And take the moment to click on the link in the captions below to join the Sovereign Brotherhood right now. See you in the next video.